What's up, friends, and welcome back to the Nurse Nook. I'm back with another NICU related video for you guys. If you guys are not already, make sure you subscribe, like this video. My dog is already acting a fool and we're like 5 seconds into this video. If you guys want to see more NICU nursing content, don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed so you guys can stay up to date with all the latest nursing content. Okay, so let's get into this video, y'all. I have been a NICU nurse for a month now, and so I felt like now's the perfect time to give you guys my secrets and tips on how I became a NICU nurse. And so I told you guys in my last video, or I think the video before that, one of them, that this was not an easy journey, and I've been trying to get into the NICU for a while. And I'll just use that as a disclaimer. NICU is one of the fields in nursing that is not the easiest to get into. I feel like it's a lot easier getting into NICU as a new grad versus already having experience in a totally unrelated area and then going into NICU. And the reason for this is because NICU is such a specialized specialty, and there's really not many places you can work besides newborn nursery and maybe mother baby that you get the same kind of experience. And so for me, I came from adult ER to pediatric ER, and then once in pediatric ER is when I tried to get into the NICU, and it was a struggle for me, y'all. I was trying for a while to get into the NICU. And so I'm gonna share with you guys some tips and tricks that I used or things that helped me, because it's honestly, there's no tricks. I'm just gonna give you guys tips on what I did, because there is no easy route and no just miracle that's just gonna happen. So I will just give you guys some things that helped me get to where I am today. So I am a level 4 NICU nurse, and so I will share with you guys how I got this position. And so one of the first things, I'm gonna start back in nursing school, because I know a lot of my viewers are nursing students and might already know that they wanna go into NICU. And so I'm gonna help you guys from the beginning all the way into if you're already a nurse and you know what you wanna be doing. So one of the best tips that I can give if you're a nursing student and know that you want to be in the NICU is try to get NICU as your practicum. This isn't the only thing that's going to set you apart from whether you get into the NICU or not, but this is going to be a huge help. If you know that you want to do NICU as a new grad, try your best. Email your professors, whatever you have to do to try to get a NICU spot in your practicum. So aside of just your practicum, from what I've seen, now again, let me preface this, from what I have seen, it's a lot easier and more likely to get hired into a NICU, especially a high level NICU such as level 4. It's a lot easier if you have your BSN. Typically higher level facilities, higher level units want higher level nurses. And so I would, if it's possible, very much recommend getting your BSN, especially if you want to work in a critical area such as level 4 NICU. Now, I don't feel the requirements are as strict if you want to work in like a nursery or maybe like a level 2, but definitely if you want to work in any critical area, I would absolutely recommend getting your BSN. Okay, now moving into if you're already a nurse, working as a nurse, and you're not a new grad. It's a little bit harder from what I've seen to get into the NICU if you're not a new grad and you have experience elsewhere. So my biggest piece of advice is to make yourself stand out. And what I mean by that is make your resume tailored to the NICU. And so you might say like, how the heck am I gonna do that? I'm like an adult telemetry nurse. There are ways, I promise you, there are ways. Always when you're making a resume to apply to a specific job, think as the unit manager. So you wanna sell yourself to this unit manager. And so if you're putting yourself in the shoes of this unit manager, think like, when I look at your resume, what can I find that's gonna help my unit, or what's gonna be beneficial to my unit? Like what could you offer that's gonna help our team? And so you wanna highlight things on your resume that even if you don't have experience with newborns, that would be relevant to the NICU, like critical thinking, or even if you were in pediatrics, like I highlighted things that I saw in pediatrics that would be relevant to the NICU, such as hyperbilirubinemia, neonates with respiratory distress syndrome, neonates with congenital heart disease. And especially when I was in postpartum, I really like When I put that on my resume, I like typed out everything that I did with neonates, like assessments, things, anything that I did with neonates, like testing for hypoglycemia, things like that. That is what's gonna help you stand out on your resume, because that's what the manager is gonna see, like, oh, she knows this, or he or she knows this, and this is useful to our unit. You can be the best nurse ever, be a CVICU nurse for like 25 years, but they wanna see that you can use what you have gained in one area of nursing and apply it to this new specialty. And so when it comes to sticking out, a huge tip that I'm gonna give you guys is go the extra mile. It's one thing to just work as a nurse in a unit and put things on your resume that would be relevant to NICU, but to take that extra step and to really ensure that you have the best possible chance of getting into the NICU is to go above and beyond and get certifications or experience that is gonna help you stick out. One thing I forgot to mention earlier about nursing students wanting to get into the NICU is volunteer if possible. So there are such things as like baby cuddlers, and this is a volunteer position, and it's literally people that go and like cuddle babies in the NICU. I don't know how this is working now with COVID, or if it's still available or what, because everything has changed since COVID, but I'm sure it's something that's gonna come back when things get more under control. So volunteer. If all else fails, volunteer in the NICU, because that is gonna, again, set you apart and stand out on your resume. Okay, so going back to certifications, I'll share with you guys the certifications I got that really helped boost me in the NICU. So one of the first things that I got was my NRP, which is the neonatal resuscitation program. And this is super important. And I will say that if NRP is not relevant to the unit that you're working on, you will most likely have to pay to take this course. And a lot of people will say that, oh, it's a waste of time. If you get hired into the NICU, they will pay for it for you. True. However, what I said before is you want to set yourself apart. And if the NICU is a place that you really want to be, you really have to invest and set yourself apart. And so managers want to see that you take initiative and you really want to be here. And going above and beyond and paying for a course that's not required for your field is something that is going to make you seem like very determined and very eager to be here. And so outside of NRP, another course that I took was S.T.A.B.L.E, S.T.A.B.L.E. That is, again, geared towards NICU, was not really relevant to the area that I was working in prior, but it's a course that I paid for, and it's a course that really taught me a lot and really showed managers that, hey, I'm serious about this. I'm ready to, make the change. And finally, one of the things that I took is an ENCCO. I was not familiar with this. Basically what it is, it's a bunch of modules, all geared again towards neonates. And this is one other thing that just wasn't necessary. Probably not, because I took S.T.A.B.L.E and NRP, but it's just one of those things that really just helped boost me up and just really show that I am trying to do anything in my power to make myself the best candidate. One last thing I'm going to share with you guys. A lot of the tips that I'm sharing are relevant to any area of nursing pretty much, besides like the NRP and S.T.A.B.L.E. But just like the little tips that I'm giving you guys, you can really apply this to any area that you are wanting to work in. But again, one of the last tips I'm going to share with you guys is try your best to reach out to a manager. This is like legit one of the things that is really going to set you apart, because a lot of times recruiters are overwhelmed, and when you apply to a job, it lands on a recruiter's desk, not a manager's desk. And from there, they like weed out people. And so if you can go straight to the source, that is honestly something that's gonna set you apart. And one thing that helped me, and I'm gonna be super transparent with you guys, I knew someone that works in the NICU that I'm working at now, and they gave me the manager's information. Just having manager's information or having someone speak to your manager for you does not solidify a job opportunity at all. What really helped set me apart, I feel like, is I reached out to the manager, and I also included my resume, and I really sold myself in the body of the text, saying like, hey, like, I'm super eager for this position. I've done X, Y, and Z to prepare. I feel like I'm ready. I think I'd be a great asset to your unit, and such, whatever else I said. So sell yourself. When you sell yourself, you want to be telling the manager how you are going to benefit their unit and how you are going to be a great resource. Yes, managers care about your professional development, but they also really want to know how you are going to be an asset to their unit. So don't forget to sell yourself and how you are going to be beneficial to them. If you don't know someone that works in the unit that you're wanting to work in, that is not a problem. Honestly, all you have to do is somehow get the manager's email. So you can look on the company website, you can type in whatever unit managers and see if they have like a directory of managers. And also, listen, there is no shame. Call up that hospital, get the operator, ask for the directory, ask to be transferred to whatever unit, and ask the secretary, hey, do you have contact information for such and such manager? Once you get that email, sell yourself. Don't forget to attach your cover letter, your resume, and just really show why you deserve to be here. So those are my tips for you guys. I hope you guys took something from that. If you guys have any more tips on how to get into the NICU or what helped y'all get into the NICU, share them down below, or honestly, any tips for anyone wanting to change specialties. Thank y'all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.